Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Salty Fundraiser. This is where I answer questions about anything you want to know in the fundraising field, as long as I have some information about it, or some opinions or feelings. So feel free to shoot me an email, and if it's something that I have thoughts on, I will perhaps answer your question on a future Salty Fundraiser. So today's question comes from Mark from the internet. And Mark wants to know, I'm an executive director and I'm wondering if there's a specific look that I need to hire when I'm hiring a fundraiser. So I think this question is really interesting because there is some data in the industry. I love Freakonomics. If you ever get a chance to either read or listen to Freakonomics, it's a wonderful podcast by Stephen Dubner. And he even did a show on his podcast about how attractive people that are going door to door asking for money will make more money. And I think, I came out of the New York market, and yes, a certain look for a fundraiser was what was getting hired. I would argue, based on my subsequent experience in the business, that good-looking frontline fundraisers may make more money in some cases, but it's probably a hallmark of a transactional fundraising organization, right? It's not based on mission. It's not based on values. It's not based on the work that you're doing. It's based solely on the relationship and the look of your fundraiser. So I'm salty about this, but I don't necessarily know all the answers. So I encourage anybody who has different feelings to certainly shoot me an email. I'd love to talk about it more. My feeling is some of the best fundraisers that I've worked with are right for their organization. I think that you have to be respectful of the culture and the people that you're doing fundraising from. An example that I have is I used to fundraise in New York at NYU Law School, and we all looked like, do you remember that 1980s video of the Robert Plant girls? They were all in their black dresses. We all wore black, very shiny pantsuits, and we had colored shells. This is the 80s. Give me a break. And we had, slick back hair, and we had a very particular look. And the NYU Law School loved that look. It was a great look for their fundraisers. I then went to fundraise for a little tiny Jesuit college in Jersey City, New Jersey. And frankly, I was having some really rocky interactions with donors based on wearing what they termed a very shiny New York look. So it wasn't based on how I looked, but it was based on, was I resonating with the culture that I was fundraising with? So I'm not in any way saying change your look, change your style. I'm just saying recognize. And some of the stuff that I do is to honor the people that I'm with. If I was going to Sunday church, I would look a little bit better than Monday morning in the garden. To me, that's just uniform and also, honoring the culture and the climate and the context from where I'm having the conversation. But the idea of hiring fundraisers based on their looks, that's probably a really good indication that you're not leaning into your mission, not leaning into your values, and not leaning into a very intelligent and thoughtful, heart-based approach to your work, right? Anybody can fundraise. Some of the best fundraisers I've worked with, one was a 4'0" guy that, looked like Art Garfunkel and was amazingly introverted. They loved him. He was a great listener. He was perfect for the culture. I have worked with a farmer who runs a beautiful farming nonprofit. He would show up in his farming clothes. You just have to be aware in fundraising, and that's part of the skill of it. So if you're basing it on looks alone, whatever the standard, whatever you're ascribing to be standard good looks, I would suggest, why don't you base it a little bit more on mission, personality, compassionate and thoughtful engagement around the work of your mission. So that's total opinion, but I have seen it play out. Great fundraisers come in all shapes and sizes. So even the tattooed ones. I got a lot of tattoos. So anyway, if you have a question for the Salty Fundraiser, please feel free to shoot me an email. If I have thoughts, opinions, or actual knowledge about it, I will perhaps answer on a future edition of the Salty Fundraiser. Till then, take care.